Hi, everybody. I'm Hector Garcia, CPA and Advanced QuickBooks Pro Advisor. And I just finished teaching a webinar to a small accounting firm that has a whole bunch of QuickBooks Online users. And they asked me a key question. And the question is, can QuickBooks automate accounting? And the answer is complicated. It took me about 20 something minutes to kind of show the answer rather than just answering it. And there is some elements of automation. I'm actually going to go and open a QuickBooks file, connect the bank, and accept all of QuickBooks suggestions on how to book those transactions and show you exactly what that looks like. I think you're going to love this video because it really truly shows what QuickBooks Online is capable of, and it gives you a glimpse into the future when artificial intelligence gets added to this whole thing and how accounting software is going to forever evolve and change our profession. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's jump right to it. Okay, that's a really interesting question. Your question is, can QuickBooks Online now automate bookkeeping or automate accounting? You're asking, is QuickBooks Online using any AI to do this? Okay, um, let me answer that question. You know what? I'm gonna do a I'm gonna get out of this QuickBooks file. I'm gonna create a brand new file from scratch. I'm gonna connect the bank, and then I'm gonna show you how QuickBooks can automate some of the data entry. We'll take a look at how that P&L and the balance sheet looks like, and then you be the judge of how much real automation can happen. So it's kind of an interesting question because today we're recording this on June 2024, and 3 months later, a year later, all this stuff could be much different, right? So I'm just going to explain to you, as of today, can QuickBooks automate anything, or what kind of automation can you get with QuickBooks? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a brand new file from scratch. I'm going to create a file from zero. And oh, by the way, if you're going to create a new file from scratch, use the link. I'll put it in the on the chat. I'll use the link so your client can get 30% off for 12 months. Okay, and that's a special link that I can give out because I'm a reseller of QuickBooks. So anyway, so I'm going to create an account from scratch. I'll sign into an existing account, but if you don't have an existing Intuit account, then you will just create a new one. Okay, let's put that code in there. Boom. I'm just going to go through the process of creating a brand new account. That way we have no history, we have no rules. Everything will be set up with the initial chart of accounts. We're going to start from zero because that's really the way to emulate the real experience of an end user, uh, creating a QuickBooks account and connecting the bank and kind of seeing the automation at work. So I'm going to go through the screens here really quick. Let's just call it sample company, and we'll put in parentheses automated. Automated. Okay, I'll put in air quotes. Sample company automated LLC. And we'll click on next. And then I'm just going to answer a couple of things here at random. Let's say this is a software development company, maybe, so a software publisher, and is a partnership. We'll go to next. And we're just going to answer the questions that typically somebody would answer when they first create a QuickBooks file. So we will do this first and skip for now, and then next. And I typically just skip through all the setups because they're kind of annoying. Skip through all the setups, and we'll basically start with a brand new file from scratch. So we're gonna click here on Let's Go, and then first thing we'll do is we'll just to kind of prove that this is a blank file, we'll run a profit and loss report. So let's go to reports. Let's go to profit and loss. Let's go to all dates and look, no data. Okay, no data at all. So let's connect a bank. So let's go into transactions, bank transactions, and then we're gonna click on connect account, and we're gonna connect the file. So we'll go into Chase, and then we're gonna go to continue, and then here on my other screen, I'll go ahead and put the credentials to connect the bank account. Okay, so I finished connecting the bank account. I'm gonna go ahead and create a new checking account. So let's just call it checking 1125. Again, not everybody knows how to even do this part, but let's just assume for a second that at least they can get through this specific part. And they can also put the beginning balance. That's kind of the challenge, really, is to get kind of end users to understand, what the consequences of their actions are, and not everybody knows how to enter a beginning balance or whatever it is. So I'm going to go ahead and put a beginning balance there. I'm going to copy that information from the bank statement from the very beginning of the year, and then we'll do here other, and let's do 0101 2023, and let's just assume that we're going to do all of 2023. Again, just to answer that question, can QuickBooks automate accounting or bookkeeping? So let's do save and close, and let's hit continue. Then after the bank account is connected, it's going to ask you which of these transactions would you like to bring in. So let's say we select all of them. There's like 400 and something transactions in there. They're going to be brought in from the bank directly. We'll hit continue, look 440 transactions, and then click yes. So that was kind of step one. We're going to assume that the average QuickBooks user can at least get through that, create the account, connect the bank. When you're connecting the bank, create the bank account in the chart of accounts and enter the beginning balances. That part is not yet automated. Like that, the user still needs to understand how to do that piece. Now, that's easy to learn. I could publish a 30-minute video and explain that piece. Now we're going to talk about the next level, which is all these transactions are going to come in. They're going to be downloaded from the bank, and then the user is going to be prompted to categorize them. Now, QuickBooks will give you a specific workflow to try to categorize them for you, and that's what we're going to discover. So I'm going to click here. It says review categories, and then QuickBooks will give you this sort of wizard trying to say, hey, I'm trying to figure out how to categorize the transactions for you. It's going to suggest this. At this point in time, because you asked, can QuickBooks automate this? I'm not going to interfere with any of the suggestions. I'm literally just going to say, yes, whatever you're telling me, it's the right answer. And you have to do that because, again, if you're asking about can you automate, quote unquote, you got to be able to like not think, not make decisions. So all I'm doing is selecting the immediate option that QuickBooks is giving me, and this is kind of like the end user experience. Like the accountants don't get this stuff, but the end user gets this. The first 10, it tries to just learn. This is like QuickBooks trying to learn from you. And again, I'm not interfering because again, you asked, can it automate? So like automation means no thinking, right? So I'm just going to select all of these, and then it tells you, okay, it looks like I found 4 of these particular category, and then it's going to go through the process of automatically categorizing certain things. Now it won't automatically categorize everything, but the next screen is actually going to prompt what to do with stuff. Okay, let's see. So here's how most of your expenses are shaping up. Here's QuickBooks already entering some things and automatically categorizing this for you. So I'm going to click on next, and then it says, are these salaries and wages? Again, I'm just going to hit yes to everything. So again, it's just kind of double checking for you. Once again, is going through all my vendors and say, are these okay? And of course, you can go in there and you can interfere with any of these. But again, within answering the question of can it automate, we're going to keep going. And again, just agree with everything that QuickBooks suggested initially. I will keep going. We'll keep clicking on next, next. And once again, this is the end user experience when they connect the bank and they click on review categories. This is again QuickBooks suggesting things, trying to learn from you, asking you, is this supposed to be this? Is this supposed to be that? So I'm just just hitting next on everything. So we'll continue to press yes or yes until there's no more yeses to press. Okay, so we'll continue doing that. Click on yes. So all these transactions were connected from the bank. And also to add some background, this is this was a single bank account that we connected. Things get a little bit more complex when you have multiple bank accounts, when there's transfers across multiple bank accounts, when you have a credit card, when you have a loan. Once you start adding PayPal, all these things, it's just going to get more complex. But again, I'm just going to continue to just click next and agree with what QuickBooks is coming up with. So we're going to click on next. It's asking me, are all these supposed to be deposits? We're going to click on next. Okay, and it's doing the update of all the transactions. And then we're going to click on done. So before I click on done, actually, it says you helped us categorize 326 expenses and bank deposits. So there was like 440 transactions. So it actually did a big chunk of it, like maybe 70% or 80%. That's pretty impressive, honestly. I mean, that it's never been like this before, and this is the worst it will ever be. It's going to get better. We're going to click on done, and there we go. So then it's going to start asking me about the rest of the transaction. So there's about 100 transactions here left for us to categorize, and it's not sure how to categorize these, but, and again, as I mentioned earlier, but it will suggesting. So you see right here, there are suggestions. So I'm just going to continue to approve everything that QuickBooks just suggested. Again, within the spirit of quote, can it automate, right? So again, I'm not even thinking, I'm an end user, I'm not an accountant. I know nothing about this stuff. I'm just going to like confirm everything that's in there exactly as it is presented. Okay, and there's a couple of errors here. I guess we'll address them later. I'm going to keep clicking on select all and click on confirm. Again, I'm going to continue pushing through, trying to see how far I can get without thinking or intervening. Okay, this is two more here, and we'll click on confirm. Okay, so QuickBooks reaches limit. There's 4 transactions that it doesn't know what to do with it. So at this point, again, there's no full automation. Let's call it semi-automation. At this point, there's 4 transactions I still need to categorize. So this is a PayPal transfer. I don't know what this is. I am just going to put here uncategorized expense or something like that. So again, within the spirit of like, what can the average end user do? Probably just call this uncategorized expense. Let's go to the next one. And this is money coming in, $1,700. So let's call this one uncategorized income and then click on confirm. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to uncategorized expense. And again, we're kind of following a pattern here. And then we have this last one, Pluto, money coming in. So we'll do uncategorized income. Okay, again, I still had to think a little bit. I still need to understand the concept of uncategorized. I still had to do some of that work. So I'm not going to give it credit 100%, but it did some sort of semi-automation. So now let's pull the reports. So let's click on reports. Let's click on profit and loss. And let's do here last year and click on run report. So there's a P&L. There's an actual P&L. Okay, here's my sales. There's all my expenses by category. So QuickBooks did a whole bunch of them. Only about the 16,000 were uncategorized. Actually, I'm going to click on that. I may have put some actually income coming in as uncategorized expense. I may have put some income as uncategorized expense. Okay, my bad. The average user wouldn't even know any different. But yes, let's just put this on categorized income. So just imagine for a second that I had put on categorized income when the money was coming in and on categorized expense when the money was coming out. Okay. So again, can it automate? No, it can't automate. It can semi-automate. I mean, again, not bad. So we'll go back to a profit and loss report. Okay, now this is clean, and we have some uncategorized income. So there's my total sales per se. There's a whole bunch of um, expenses by category. Let's grab airfare and let's see how good it did airfare. So we'll click on that, and look, we have things like United Airlines, Delta Airlines, American Airlines, Priceline. Okay, American Airlines, American Air, something with the word airfare on it, Miami conference flight, something else about a flight. Okay, so not bad. Okay, it pretty much, I think it understood the assignment, more or less. Let's see hotels. Let's see what hotels looks like. Let's see what that looks like. And then we have MGM Resorts, Aria. There you go. Those are hotels. Those are hotels. Okay, let's see another category. Let's look at a big one, salaries and wages. Let's see what shows up in here. Okay, so it looks like it grabbed, let me collapse the left navigation bar. So it looks like it grabbed all the checks and assumed that checks were payroll expenses. Now, that could be true or that could not be true. We would have to literally look at every single check and see what it is. And this is the part where QuickBooks just can't automate. If you have any checks, it's just going to guess a category. It guess salaries and payroll, and it went there and look at it put this square transaction into payroll. That's way off. We got here something about payroll, on pay. That's a payroll company, so those make sense. But for the most part, a bunch of these checks were put into payroll, and that's not necessarily accurate. Again, let's assume that all the checks were payroll. Now the end user at this point will need to know and understand that QuickBooks is making a lot of assumptions, and you have to go through every single one and recategorize each of the paychecks. Now let me click here on software and apps. We'll click on that, and let's see. So there's a whole bunch of what looks like software companies. There's a Kate Stevens here. Let's see what amount we're talking about. Yeah, so it's grabbing some big amounts like 5,000, 7,000, 3,500, and it's putting that stuff in software and apps. Not sure that's accurate. I mean, the description said Kate Stevens software development, so maybe that's why it did that. Again, maybe that is a subcontractor fee or something. I don't know. Yes, you have to think about it. You have to, understand what the company is, what the industry is, the nature of the transactions is not 100% cut and dry like that. But for the most part, we got Microsoft, Dropbox, Twilio, Intuit. Okay, all those things are truly software. So I did pretty well in that category. It may have taken some essentially subcontractor expenses. So I'm not going to bore you by looking at every one of these, but that gives you a general idea where we are. Assuming that the categories are wrong, but I would just were to put the categories in some other profit and loss category, my net income would still be the same. So does it really matter how you categorize it? Maybe, right? But here you go, 9,000. Let's look at a balance sheet. I think it'll be worth it to look at a balance sheet as well. So let's switch over to balance sheet and let's see what it did. There's a balance in my checking account. Let's do here last year. Let's do last year. So we're looking at the exact report. So the last year here. So there's a balance in my checking account. Inventory asset. Like, okay, how did QuickBooks even imagine I had inventory? So let's click on that and see what it categorized as inventory. So it took a bunch of weird transactions, XBB corporate sponsorship, Dev International, IKEA, Geek Squad, Wizard Pins, Jason Roberts video. Okay, PayPal. Like, I don't know. Are these things inventory? Probably not. So there's $60,000 that it could be in the balance sheet, could be in the profit and loss. Again, we're might be possibly off by $60,000. Then we got this thing here called mortgages. So let's click there on mortgages. And okay, this is a loan payment. So it's a fixed loan payment. It put it into mortgages. Maybe this is an equipment loan. Maybe this is a car loan. So it's not really that straightforward. Plus, where's the breakdown of principal and interest? Again, not a straightforward thing. Let's click on back. Let's take a look at partner investments. Let's click on that. Let's see what that is. And I guess it made the assumption that a deposit for 133,000 was a partner investment. And why did it assume that? It says transfer from Chase 1123. So could that have been a partner's personal account? Maybe. That would have been another bank account that this business has? Maybe. Again, this is what QuickBooks can do. This is the extent of what QuickBooks can do. So that could have been income too. Like it could have been another business from Chase that transfer money in. So again, can we trust QuickBooks to automate accounting? The answer is no, but it's getting very close. It's getting scarily close. But at the same token, is it really scarily close? I mean, like if I'm off by $60,000 in my net income versus 9,000 versus 60,000 or any of these numbers, it's not really scarily close. It looks like semi-automation is a real thing. Like it could do some of it, can't do all of it. That's a really important piece. The other thing that I don't like about the automation part is that, okay, if I do expenses by vendor summary, in the automation, let's just do here all dates. The automation doesn't really create vendors, doesn't create payee. So I don't really get the flavor of looking at my expenses by payee. I can click on that 234 and all the transactions came in. All the stuff came under memo because that's the stuff that came in from the bank, but none of the payees come in. Yes, I can go back into bank transactions, and it's actually a really pretty cool thing. It's actually a different concept of the question that you asked originally, but you can click here, it says categorize, and then you can see the things that have already been categorized. I'm gonna click here by description, and let's say all these American Airlines here, I can select a whole bunch. I can shift click and select a grouping of it, and I can click on edit, and then I can add a vendor to this. So I love this, a really cool part. American Airlines. Let's just spell that correctly. Might as well, right? Airlines, and then click on add and click on save and then save. So I could go back after it's automating. I could go back and clean these up, add these payees. Let's do this one, BOA loan payment. We'll just call it Bank of America. So go to edit and then do here expense. And then we do Bank of America. And then we add that and click on save and then save. And just for the heck of it, I'm also gonna recategorize these as interest expense. Let's just assume that this is like an interest only loan. So we'll put here this on interest paid and click on save. So just kind of show you that this is kind of a 1-2 approach. QuickBooks will do some, the accountant, the professional, the QuickBooks Pro will do other things. And then when I go back into my reports and I pull up my expenses by vendor summary, we're going to see, let's do here all dates. We're going to see that now I have 2 vendors in there and the total amount by vendor. So again, can QuickBooks automate accounting? No, it's getting close. It's a 1-2 approach. It is human plus machine. The combination is deadly. Once you learn how to use bank feeds, and I have another video in my YouTube channel that kind of goes really deep into like how to use bank feeds. I recommend you check that out. I'll put the link here in the Zoom chat. But once you learn how to do bank feeds really well and take advantage of some of the automation that QuickBooks has, and you know how to go back in the reports and double check, and you know how to go back and add the vendor or the payee, once you learn all of that, then we can get very, very close to automated accounting or semi-automating accounting, but it's definitely going to require human plus machine. So I hope that answers your question, Mike. That's the best I can do for that question for now. Maybe a year from now, it might be an entirely different answer. This system might get better. It might change. Who knows? Okay, let's go to the next topic here. So I hope you like this content. Tell me in the comments, what are your thoughts? Do you think it got pretty accurate? Do you think it's way far away? How is this going to affect your business? How is this going to affect you as an accounting professional if you have QuickBooks doing a lot of these decisions for your clients? Now, some of you are going to see the positive side. Some of you are going to see the negative side. I would love to engage into a discussion. So go into the description below and let's talk about what's going to happen, and tell me what other type of videos of this kind you would like for me to create, because this automation stuff in the year 2024 and beyond, especially with AI, is really when it's getting interesting. And I'm going to be continuously exploring what this looks like, not just in QuickBooks, in all sorts of accounting software and circumstances. So again, I'll see you in the comment section. Make sure you hit like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one.